This is the AAPL 1-month overview reading for the month of December 2023. It's currently October 15th, 2023, 2:54 p.m. Eastern Time. Apple at the time of this reading is currently $178.85. That's USD. And the shuffle file for the December reading was created on October 8th, 2023 at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. The overall theme and behavior for Apple in the month of December, we have a significant opportunity standing out on a year-to-date scale. A year-to-date chart scale, with a rally moving higher, offering an opportunity to open up a short position or close a long position or do both. It's crossed with the revisiting of a support level that was a recent past opportunity in a period of sideways rotation, and there's a sharp drop that should stand out in that period of sideways rotation, likely bringing us to that support level that was an opportunity. Behavior around the highest high, we established support at the high, so we should see sideways rotation along support near the high, and that'll be important on a year-to-date scale minimum. Behavior around the low, we should see a failed attempt to break through key resistance on a multi-day scale, followed by a decline through key support on a multi-day scale, taking us into the low. And before we get into the best trades that we see, as well as the timing of the highs and the lows to the day, and the overall chart behavior, or the day-by-day chart behavior, let's take a look. First, I want to make sure everybody's aware, the whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. And we do that here on the resources tab of our website by following the channel's rule of karma, where we take 5% of the profits that we make from this information and we donate it forward to one of these charities. And then 5% of the profit should be donated back to the channel here through one of these links. It leaves you with 90% of the money. My friends, we're putting this information out there to the world for free. Make sure to send it back. As long as you follow those rules, the universe considers you an angel investor. The channel is going to send it back to you tenfold. Much appreciation and blessings go out to all my angel investors out there. Let's take a quick look and see how we're doing in October. This is looking pretty solid, guys. All right, so we had a high. We declined from a high first thing on the 2nd, and then we went into a higher high on the 4th, 5th, right? Higher high on the 4th, 5th, and then still higher there on the 10th, with the possibility, like the reading says, with the possibility of there being a high on the 12th as well. And you can see the 12th this is the theme card for the December reading, the Ace of Wands. And what it does, it offers an opportunity to open up a short position in the midst of a rally, or close a long position in the midst of a rally. And you can see that was this day right here. We had this big move higher. If you had opened up a short position, you would have been very happy the next day when we revisited support. Wow, that's interesting. This is the combo from the following month. Or from the month of December. Interesting. Very interesting. So if everything goes according to plan, as it looks like it will based on the accuracy of this reading thus far, we should see lowest lows for the month very, very soon. So sharp drop probably over the weekend for Apple. All right, so we're going to get into the timing of the highs and the lows, the chart behavior by the day, and the best trade opportunities. We're giving away the first week of this reading, just so you guys can get a taste test, and for people out there that maybe can't afford it. With that said, the remainder of the reading, if you want to get the remainder of the reading, make sure to check out how to do so at the end of this video. On the first, we have a key resistance level that's highlighted, and we should see volatility and volume kind of flatten out. It should be like a flat sideways kind of day. A notable move on the 4th. There's a rally that offers an opportunity to short there on the 4th. Yeah, there's a rally that offers opportunity to short there on the 4th. I would do that when on a one-day chart on the 4th, we have a period of sideways rotation and then a big move higher, and then sideways rotation at a higher price level. When I see that sideways rotation at a higher price level, that's when I would probably open up the short in the midst of that big move higher, when it kind of caps off its sideways rotation. And then I would probably close that the very next day in the morning for an overnight swing trade, but I wouldn't want to stay in a short position longer than in the morning. If I ended up being wrong, I'd want to get out of that short anyways, and I'd want to get into a long position in the morning of the 5th. So out of the short in the morning of the 5th, into a long position on the morning of the 5th, and hold that long position. There should be a significant move to the upside towards the end of the day there, and that'll be a day trade. I would exit out of that long position as a day trade towards the end of the day. We may actually see higher price levels. We'll probably see higher price levels on the 7th, 8th. I think that's the most likely location of the highest high for the month is probably the 7th, but there is possibility of the 12th as well. Not as strong as the 7th, but there is possibility of there on the 12th. There'll be a prominent peak of some kind at least. Yeah, I think that's probably the high. So in any case, we have a lot of price movement to the upside towards the end of the day on the 5th. And then overnight, probably a gap down or sideways fluctuating decline on the 6th that precedes a notable move higher, a fast sudden move higher taking place on the 7th. That fast sudden move higher, if there's a fast sudden move higher on the 6th, I would say that that would mean that we're a day behind on the sequence of the timing, but the sequence of events is accurate. So when you see that fast sudden move higher, either on the 6th or on the 7th, and those will be on the scale of a multi-day chart, fast sudden move higher, that'll take us into a high. When we meet a highest high for the month there, that's when I would open up a short position in anticipation of a significant move to the downside the following day. There's a unicursal hexagram here, which indicates a significant opportunity before a notable decline on a multi-day scale there. There's a speaker there in the morning of the 8th as well, or around in between the 7th and the 8th on the cusp. There's a speaker. What they speak about should not be relied upon. It should not be trusted. And then it looks like we have a significant trough for the month towards the end of the day, with a period of sideways rotation on a multi-day scale taking us into a trough there at the end of the day. We probably gap down from the 7th into the 8th, and then there's a big move higher in the morning of the 8th back to a peak, and then we end up in a trough at the end of the day on the 8th. On the 11th, we should see a really notable reversal standing out on a multi-day scale. So what I would do, guys, as far as the main trade, I would open up the short position, because the main trade here is open up a short position. It looks like I would open up the short position right there in the midst of that sideways rotation, or excuse me, in the midst of that fast sudden move higher. It could take place on the 6th. It could take place on the 7th. It'll be a big move higher on a multi-day scale, and it'll take us into a high side. I would open up the short position there, and I would close the short position. I'll talk about where to close the short position in the paid version, but we're talking about somewhere towards the third week, and I'll talk about that in more detail in the paid version. Guys, if you're interested in the paid version, it's really the best way to support the channel. You can do so here on the resources tab, or excuse me, on the Our Services tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, under Our Services, SO Meta Posts. Scroll down to monthly subscription, click here to order, and you're subscribing to the Apple subscription right here. It gets you access to the paid version, which is the complete monthly with all of the chart behavior by the day, as well as the highs, the lows, and the best trades. Not to mention, we also get into trades that may be relevant from like a 1-year chart scale and a multi-year chart scale when relevant. If there's any price information as well, we talk about that in the paid version. So thank you to all those of you that go ahead and do that. If you utilize this information regularly, my friends, if you want to keep using it, please support the channel. Please make sure to follow the Real Karma. And for those of you that follow through and order the subscription, thank you very much, my friends. You are key part of the channel, key part of our support and allowing us to fulfill our goals with this channel.